Back in March, Ohio made headlines, postponing the election just hours before the polls were set to open. A new bill would ensure that doesn't happen in November, but opponents say we still won't be ready for a safe election.
What we don't want to do is repeat April's primary.
The last thing we need is a repeat of what happened in March.
One thing everyone seems to agree on, we can't repeat what happened in the primary election again in November. But how we should hold that election in the age of the coronavirus remains up for debate.
Citizens must have faith in the process in order to have faith in the outcomes of our elections.
House Bill 680 passed the House on Thursday and lays out several guidelines for November. One of the biggest being how the election could be changed. Back in March, it was Governor DeWine who made the call. But this new legislation says no public official can make changes to the time, place, or manner of an election.
What this bill actually does make it so that we don't have an election being changed by one or two individuals.
The bill also cuts down on the opening to request an absentee ballot, and Secretary of State Frank LaRose will no longer be able to prepay postage for the return of those ballots.
We're making it harder and less accessible for voters to vote in the midst of a pandemic when we should be doing the exact opposite.
Supporters of House Bill 680 are celebrating Ohioans being insured a trip to the polls in November.
Ready to offer Ohioans that same normal experience that they've always had, even in these times which are far from normal. We want to make sure that Ohioans have the opportunity to vote in person.
But opponents say there's still no plan for the coronavirus, and this bill just makes it more difficult for people to vote in a safe way. The bill is now headed to the state Senate, and Democrats do have their own election legislation. November 3rd is the presidential election, just 5 months away. Reporting at the State House, I'm Adrienne Robbins.